I will tell you though, one of the bigger differences between these two, more so probably the chipsets, but also the software within them. They're both running iOS 14 right now, but there's going to be a time in probably in a couple years from now where the iPhone 11 is still going to be getting software updates, where the iPhone XS Max is not going to be getting any software updates. So that's a massive thing to keep in mind. So what does this mean? This essentially means that right now they're both going to be ending off probably around each other because they're only 1 year apart. But even though the iPhone 11 was a cheaper phone than when the iPhone XS came out, you have to keep in mind that the XS Max has a year-old chipset compared to the iPhone 11. So this is a massive difference. You're going to be getting a longer lifespan from a device right now from the iPhone 11 than on the iPhone XS Max. That's a massive thing to keep in mind. They're both going to be lasting for quite a bit of time anyway right now. But as I mentioned before, that is one of the main things to keep in mind right now. So in terms of that, that pretty much covers it up in terms of the software standpoint. But the battery life is also another pretty big advantage for the iPhone 11. This device has kind of like a bigger battery than the XS Max. They're like roughly around the same, to be honest. But the bigger thing to keep in mind is that the iPhone 11, because of the more optimized chipset, the low resolution panel, and also because the panel is smaller, this device had a really good battery life. It was very impressive. I love the battery life from this phone. The XS Max's battery life was still pretty good, but the iPhone 11 for sure had the better battery life when it came down to these two for sure. So in terms of that, those cover up pretty much the main differences, in terms of the outside software and the battery life. Now,